What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Ciryl Gane picks up a big UFC Paris win. On Saturday night in Paris, Ciryl Gane picked up a big victory over Sergey Spivak, cementing his place as one of the best heavyweights in the UFC. After coming up short in his UFC 285 fight against Jon Jones, Gane went to work in the gym, working on his grappling and setting his sights on a big return. On September 2nd in Paris, Gane took his first steps towards re-entering the heavyweight title picture, picking up a second-round TKO win. Not only that, but he also outstruck Spivak 109 strikes to 11 and earned a $50,000 performance bonus of the night for his efforts. After heading into the fight as the number 2 ranked heavyweight, Gane will certainly hold on to his spot in the official rankings. Sitting just ahead of him in the rankings is Sergey Pavlovich, who's gearing up to weigh in as the backup fighter for the UFC 295 clash between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. Depending on how things play out in November, Gane could find himself in a position to fight Pavlovich for the number 1 contender spot. In addition, with Tom Aspinall also fresh off a big win, the UFC could match the two up for a big title eliminator. As Aspinall explained in an interview with the Mac Live following the bout, he wants the fight, but if Ciryl Gane isn't interested, he won't force the issue.
Yeah, I'm not a bully. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't want the fight, I'm not going to try and force it on him. I wanted to go in the cage. The UFC didn't want me to go in the cage. Yeah, if he wants the fight, it's here. If he doesn't want the fight, we'll see. I know that I'm a bad matchup for him.
As Bilal Muhammad went on to point out on Twitter, the performance from Gane was a good reminder that he has solid defensive grappling abilities. Jon Jones is just simply on another level. Muhammad tweeted, "Watched the main event late, but man, all I can think is, how good is Jon Jones?" The tweet earned a response from MMA Twitter's Marcel Dorf, who wrote back, "That's exactly it. People were on Gane like crazy after his fight against Jon. Today, Ciryl proved again he is legit as and Jon is just in a league of his own." With Jones teasing retirement heading into his UFC 295 fight, Gane may not have the opportunity to avenge his loss to the heavyweight champ. Following UFC Paris, however, the big question on every fan's mind is, who should Ciryl Gane fight next? Drop your predictions in the comment section below. Shout out to our first comments on yesterday's video. Thanks for the support. Israel Adesanya reveals big plan for Strickland. Although Israel Adesanya's biggest wins have seen the last stylebender pick up spectacular finishes with his striking, there's one thing that the champion is eager to do during his career that has thus far eluded him. During a recent interview with TSN's Aaron Bronstetter, the champion was asked what else he wants to accomplish in his career after already having done so much.
Submission. I definitely want a submission. It might be this fight. I know he's going to wrestle. He'd be dumb not to. So I know he's going to try and mix it up. He's doing this whole thing, man dance. He's going to crotch sniff. That's what he's going to do. Yeah, I mean, he's got smart coaches and they will definitely beat it into him. And I know they've been talking about it. He's like, what? Crotch sniff? I'm going to box. And you really think he's going to box with me? The Pereira fight, I called it. I told him, focus on your job because he's going to knock you out. And what did he do? He knocked him out because he wasn't focused on his job. He was focused on me. But, yeah, he's going to crotch sniff.
So far, throughout his career, Adesanya has racked up 16 knockout wins and 8 decision wins. However, despite strong skills on the ground, a submission has thus far eluded him. As Strickland explained, heading into this fight, he's been working on his wrestling this camp, although he isn't sure whether or not he's going to use it. If he does, it sounds as though Adesanya will be looking for a hole to exploit. With the fight rapidly approaching, do you believe that Strickland is going to stick to the game plan and mix things up? Or will he find himself kickboxing with the middleweight champ in Sydney? Drop your predictions in the comment section below. Conor McGregor and Garry sparring. Former 2-division UFC champion Conor McGregor has continued to tease his return to the octagon online, repeatedly floating a December date for his upcoming clash with Michael Chandler, despite UFC President Dana White indicating that nothing has been finalized yet. From the looks of things, however, McGregor isn't just teasing talk of his return. He's actually in the gym training for a December return as well. This week, McGregor was seen sparring with the future of Irish MMA, Ian Machado Garry. After the training, McGregor also took to Instagram with photos of the pair at his Black Forge Inn, along with the caption, "Good training, good eating, good vibes." In addition, a recent clip from the Mac Life showed the Irish star looking lean and mean while training for the fight. With McGregor eager to fight before the end of the year, only time will tell whether or not the Irish star is able to put the pressure on the UFC and manifest a December fight. With plenty of controversy on the horizon, if he winds up getting a USADA exemption, how do you see things playing out for McGregor in the months to come? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Rose Namajunas suffers defeat in flyweight debut. In the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Paris, Rose Namajunas looked to bounce back from a split decision loss to Carla Esparza back at UFC 274 as she made the jump up to flyweight to take on Manon Fiorot. Despite having high hopes entering the fight, Namajunas quickly suffered what appeared to be a broken pinky finger. Although she continued to fight despite the injury, Fiorot proved to be too much for the former champ, with Jake Hadley concluding that Namajunas was just too small for her opponent. Time and time again, Namajunas caught herself on the wrong end of exchanges, and although she'd landed shots of her own, she simply couldn't gain an edge on the judges' scorecards. Following Saturday's unanimous decision loss, Namajunas finds herself in an interesting place. While she could decide to try her hand at flyweight once again, she could also return to strawweight, where she sits as the number 2 ranked fighter. Of course, despite the fact that the fight was scored as a unanimous decision for Fiorot, not everyone agreed. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jamal Hill was quick to disagree with the decision on Twitter, writing, "Bro, what? Rose pieced her up that whole fight." The tweet drew some confused reactions, with McMalley posting a meme of Daniel Cormier in response, which has continued to collect likes. Following the loss, do you think Namajunas should remain at flyweight, or should she make the cut back down to strawweight going forward? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love, and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Paul Felder re-enters USADA testing pool. Longtime fan favorite fighter Paul Felder recently re-enrolled himself in the USADA testing pool, just in case he decides he wants to come back and compete against another fighter at the same stage of their career. As he explained at the UFC Fight Night Paris pre-fight show, he's back in the gym training and enjoying himself. Although he doesn't currently have any plans to compete inside the octagon again, he isn't ruling out a return, despite the fact that he admittedly has bad hips. Shortly after announcing that he had the itch to compete again, he quickly shot down talk of a showdown with undefeated contender Shavkat Rakhmonov, who currently sits as the number 6 ranked welterweight. When he heard talk of a fight between he and Rakhmonov, the Irish Dragon was quick to respond, simply writing, "No thank you." While fans are certainly excited about the possibility of Felder returning, it'll take him 6 months to be cleared before he can accept any hypothetical fights. When the time comes, who do you want to see the Irish Dragon face off against? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And now for our breaking news story of the day. We have Dana White revealing bad news on a fighter. Corinne Laframboise was scheduled to fight Rain Guerrero on September 5th, but unfortunately for Corinne, last-minute blood work revealed she is 3 months pregnant. She took to Instagram and said this, "We learned that I was 3 months pregnant. A huge surprise for you and us. This training camp will have been really different. Having not had sparring since August 2022 following an ear injury, I allowed myself a few weeks at the start of camp before returning. When I thought I was okay to start, I sprained my ankle and couldn't walk or move as I would like for 8 to 7 weeks. No sparring except 2 at the end of camp to test the ankle. I tell myself that life is doing things well. We are more than happy with the news." What do you think about this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Top comments. Sean isn't walking into a hostile Sydney crowd. We love him here, haha. Let's go Strickland. Love to see him get a win. Someone responded with, "He's gonna get knocked out and sent back to the asylum where he belongs." If you want to be featured on our next video, make sure to leave a comment and don't forget to check out yesterday's video in case you missed it.